Hello, it's June 2025 and we're a couple of weeks away from the release of yet another Jurassic World movie, and whilst many of us long-term fans of the franchise have been left a little bit underwhelmed by the last couple of releases, there is hope yet. Jurassic World Rebirth is set to take the franchise in a new direction, with Scarlett Johansson taking the reins and not a Chris Pratt in sight. To celebrate Jurassic World returning to the big screen, I've turned to two of my other great passions in life, LEGO and LEGO lighting kits, to bring one of my favourite sets of all time to life in a new and exciting way. Since my last look at lighting kits, adult fans of LEGO have been embracing them more and more as the ultimate upgrade for their LEGO collection, and there are so many options for suppliers out there right now. After my last collaboration with LeLightGo and their wonderful LEGO Rivendell set, I jumped at the chance to review another one of their offerings, with the theme very much directed towards something dinosaur related. The set of choice that I'll be lighting up, it's one of my favourite sets of all time. It's the LEGO Jurassic World T-Rex Rampage. Now, that's the set that gives you the massive T-Rex, as well as the iconic Jurassic Park gate. The Rivendell kit was a great experience, but it is one majorly large set with a lot of fiddly bits to wire around. My expectation for this lighting kit, however, would be a much simpler experience. It's not a complex build, so for this kit to really cut the mustard, it has to be relatively easy to install with minimal deconstruction required. First thing I'll say is, much like last time, the LeLightGo's kit came exceptionally well packaged. A solid card box, protecting the contents well inside and sealed really well as well. The individual components inside were grouped into tight resealable numbered bags of high quality. It's great to see that kind of consistency compared to my last experience with the company. As I've said previously, packaging is so important when it comes to these kits because, you know, they're shipped all over the world and the small electronic components can be easily damaged in transit. This is unlikely to happen given the high quality here though. One of the few things that did surprise me when I reviewed my first LeLightGo kit was the lack of instructions in the box. It wasn't something I was familiar with, as most of the other well-known competitors supply high-quality glossy install manuals. This is still the case with this kit, but to be fair, it was really easy to just go on their website and download the a PDF directly. So, you know, it's easy to find. Their website's really well laid out, so it took me a few seconds. The instructions themselves were very easy to follow, with high quality images taking you step by step through the process, easily indicating which number bags and which components you needed at any given point. I've integrated so many lighting kits over the years, but thanks in no small part to the instructions here, this was definitely shaping up to be one of the least painful. Getting started, and the first noticeable difference from other brands I've used in the past was that components were already grouped together and wired up, minimising the fiddly job that you need to do connecting each and every component to a connector cable. There's still some work to do when it comes to connecting things together, but each section of the installation has been thought out in this design to maximise the number of components that can be pre-connected without taking away your ability to deviate from the instructions should you want to, hide your cables in a slightly different way. So far, the kit was matching my expectations in terms of simplicity, but the biggest question was, how much needs to be taken apart and rebuilt as part of this installation? I've said it before in other reviews, and I'll say it again, and I'll probably keep saying it until the end of time, but one of the most important things when installing a lighting kit is, you don't want to spend hours upon hours taking apart a set you've already dedicated hours upon hours to, just to put a lighting kit in it, to then spend hours upon hours putting it back together. So it is quite an important part of any lighting kit experience. Thankfully, this kit utilises a lot of the large panels on the front and sides to install the lighting, and they easily come away from the set. So, it's not every part of this installation, but it's definitely a good portion. Consistent with my last experience with LeLightGo's lighting kits, the design is clever. It utilises the existing build's hidden spots, tucking wires into areas hidden behind these big panels with ease. Outside of the panels, the only real deconstruction that's needed is the large sign at the top, the Jurassic Park sign, and also the fire lanterns, which are probably the most fiddly bit as far as this install goes. The gate build install was such a pleasant experience. There was no real stress around trying to ensure that the lights fitted into spots the instructions told me to put them. I've found in the past that some lighting kits leave very little room for error, and any slight deviation from how the connector cables sit between the bricks can leave you with wires that are too short to reach the next component. Not here though. There's some room for creativity if you want to change things around in terms of how you hide the cables. I definitely did, and I find I tend to do that with quite a lot of the lighting kits that I do. The biggest install step of the kit is the main lights that light up all the rooms at the back of the set. Pre-wired with a central light that connects to the bar under the Jurassic Park sign and a couple of spotlights for the sign itself. It is just a case of piping the lights down into each section of the build into gaps that already exist. Each room at the back gets its own individual light, and while most of them are just a simple warm white, there are a couple of nice surprises to add variation. My favourite being the animated light used in the server room. It's simple yet so cool. Around to the front of the set, and the next phase of the install is the fire lanterns. Now there's a couple of ways that LeLightGo could have designed this, and they chose well. I was a little surprised that each of the groups of lanterns only have one light mounted in the middle of a 2x2 grey plate, but you know, rather than having individual lights per fire flame. But it actually turned out to be inspired. Having that plate made it so easy to install, and also hiding the cables was so much easier. The end result is absolutely brilliant. The other big highlight of this part of the kit is that you can wire the lanterns into a component that will allow them to flicker. It adds a level of realism, and it looks really cool. The component has a couple of different settings in terms of speed, but if you go for the default, if you know, from what you're seeing here, this is what you're getting. It's cool. It really does look cool. I'm really impressed with that. I love it. The full install of the gate lighting took me about an hour or so. Now that's obviously stopping to take pictures and do videos as part of this review, so it's not a massive job. But that wasn't the end. There are a couple of other installs you need to do. Now, if I'm being completely honest with you, whenever I do a lighting kit, I do try and go for as much realism as I possibly can. So I wasn't overly excited when it came to the lights on the T-Rex itself. It's been a while since I've done any kind of study on dinosaur related things, but I'm pretty sure there's no scientific research that has ever revealed that the T-Rex had glow-in-the-dark eyes or a tongue. I may be wrong though. That being said, it is part of the kit, and it wasn't too long before my doubt went away when I saw just how awesome it looked. I was also surprised by kind of how much little effort went into it. It was kind of minimal deconstruction. All you had to do was take off the head. There's a few bits to take off and you're done. It's actually really easy. Now with Rexy all lit up, the final bit was a nice addition that just completed the whole ensemble. John Hammond's amber infused walking stick, and it really does look great. Once completed and looking at the full kit installation, I felt there was only one thing missing that just let the kit down just a tiny bit. Something to light up the minifigure stand and the information panel. It's not a big deal, but when you kind of see the set lit up in the dark, it's a noticeable missing element. Looking back over the whole experience though, it's very consistent with everything that I got out of my last LeLightGo install. The components throughout the kit, they're high quality, similar to some of the best that I've seen from other suppliers. Overall, this lighting kit ticked every box for me. It's well designed, it's well thought out, it's easy to install, and it requires minimal rebuilding. A positive experience all round. The pre-connected components make it a brilliant starter kit for those that are just starting out in the lighting kits world, and there's very little kind of fiddly little bits that you need to do with the tiny connectors. If you're looking for a stress-free experience, minimal effort but a great result, then I can honestly say you can't go wrong here. This LeLightGo lighting kit is definitely recommended, and as you can see, it looks amazing when it's finished. Final thing to mention here is I was provided this kit to review. It doesn't change how I feel about it, and to be honest, I can honestly say that I would purchase this set. I would purchase this kit myself. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's kind of helped you make a decision on whether you want to go with any lighting kits. I am fully supportive of lighting kits. I love lighting kits. I think they really enhance any LEGO set, especially the big ones. If you are interested in getting some lighting kits from LeLightGo, use the promo code LifeInBrick, one word, and you'll get 25% off all of their kits. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please do subscribe, like, comment, share, all the good stuff, and I'll be back very soon with another video. Bye bye.